Oloma wrote 5 paragraphs, 188 words. Not one mention of that guy's name, Ezra. That's his name. Or have you forgotten? Ozzy made a whole post on Twitter. Not one mention of his name. Kiki Modi on her Instagram post wrote a whole lot of word salads there. Didn't mention his name. All of a sudden, you're now being political. Where is that feminist vim with which you drag people for their opinions? Where is that feminist vim with which you call for the heads of men over their opinions, and men who have even said way less things than what your degenerate cat meowing friend has done? All of a sudden, your voices are so soft, especially you, Uloma. You called Apostle Emmanuel Iren a rapist for speaking against false rape accusations. Where is that energy now? All of you are ideological bastards. You are vile people. You call sensible women pick-me while auditioning to be uprooted by a degenerate man who sleeps with his cat. You punch down on women who are married, who want to submit to their husbands, who have conservative ideologies in life, but you are licking the butt of a man who sits on the face of his cat for sexual pleasure. So finally, which one is better? Being married, submitting to a man, living a conservative life, having children, or being irredeemably single while pursuing men who have sexual interest in cats? Please, go and check yourselves that you don't have hepatitis B and HIV and maybe another illness that has to do with cats, so you don't startle humanity with another pandemic. Oloma wrote 5 paragraphs, 188 words. Not one mention of that guy's name, Ezra. That's his name. Or have you forgotten? Ozzy made a whole post on Twitter. Not one mention of his name. Kiki Modi on her Instagram post wrote a whole lot of word salads there. Didn't mention his name. All of a sudden, you're now being political. Where is that feminist vim with which you drag people for their opinions? Where is that feminist vim with which you call for the heads of men over their opinions, and men who have even said way less things than what your degenerate cat meowing friend has done? All of a sudden, your voices are so soft, especially you, Uloma. You called Apostle Emmanuel Iren a rapist for speaking against false rape accusations. Where is that energy now? All of you are ideological bastards. You are vile people. You call sensible women pick-me while auditioning to be uprooted by a degenerate man who sleeps with his cat. You punch down on women who are married, who want to submit to their husbands, who have conservative ideologies in life, but you are licking the butt of a man who sits on the face of his cat.
Jesus Christ.
So finally, which one is better? Being married, submitting to a man, living a conservative life, having children, or being irredeemably single while pursuing men who have sexual interest in cats? Please, go and check yourselves that you don't have hepatitis B and HIV and maybe another illness that has to do with cats, so you don't startle humanity with another pandemic. Oloma wrote 5 paragraphs, 188 words.
Okay,
not one mention of—
I guess that I think I might have mistakenly played that twice. All right, who are these women? That's a good question, Marriott. That's a good question. I think brunch girls, is that what they call them? All right, before I'm going to go into this, who these girls are, let me just finish reading this post on Twitter. Let me see. There was a post that I was trying to. Okay, so there's a guy called Akpo Ikogo. I don't know who that is. Akpo Ikogo, but these are the people we're talking about, just in case you're wondering right here. Okay, one of these people. Okay, so I won't be playing any more audio unless I have to refresh. Voila. All right, so that's the young lady who brought her wife into a relationship with Ezra, and you're looking at right there on the screen. Okay, and that's the young lady who started exposing him. The young lady also borrowed $55,000 from him to pay her brother's tuition, and there's a lot of people are speculating that there's money issues. She was trying to shake him down. There's a lot of speculations around that I saw online, but who cares at this point? Anyway, who is Oloma? Who is Oloma? That's a good question. I think we'll get there in a minute. But the TechPoint article says, as of Thursday evening, November 13, 2025, Ezra has been suspended from all duties and responsibilities. In accordance with our internal policies, we have initiated a review process led by Paystack's board. The board is in the process of appointing an independent third-party investigator to ensure the investigation is conducted fairly, thoroughly, and with full confidentiality. The controversy began in November 2025 when an individual known as Max Obey, that's the young lady on the screen. Let me make sure. Yeah. Her with the glasses, I think. Max Obey posted accusations on social media suggesting that a tech leader had mistreated a former partner and employees with the S. Although Obey did not initially name Olubi, observers quickly connected the dots to Paystack CTO, prompting them to dig up past posts. People say, where's the evidence? The social media will look for the evidence for you. You just have to calm down. Calm down. Your own is to make sure you are behaving in this street. Net, Panet. Your own is to make, it doesn't matter if you come on the internet ever because you're 85 or not. It really doesn't matter. You're looking for evidence. In due time, they will find it for you. Somebody said, but don't be sentimental. Don't be emotional. No, you don't be sentimental and don't be emotional. This is the reality of what we have to deal with. Okay? So you better behave yourself. This is true for all of us. Every single one of us. You don't know how to run your mouth on the internet. You're a keyboard gangster. You don't have any real picture. You only have 1 follower or 0 followers. You're not following anybody. But you troll people on the internet. No evidence, right? Wait now. They just have to be big enough interest. And on the internet, we don't suffer from interest. Anyway, I just laugh. A lot of stupid people on the internet. I'm pardon me to say that like that. Just a lot of numbskull people on the internet with regards to where, not in real life, not people being dumb or stupid. A lot of these people are intelligent, but they are numbskull with respect to where we are in terms of the digital era. Some of them are just going to have to collect first before they realize. When I say collect, I meant the big pigeon one. I say like they have to hit rock bottom first before they realize that, it's too late. And maybe some of them will have a second chance. But I'm telling you right now, with those devices in your hands, a lot more people over the next 5 years to 1 decade will be getting in more trouble. And there's evidence what you're looking for. There's surplus of them. Surplus, okay? So the more people install all those cameras in their house, the ring lights, the ring cameras, your devices, every one of them have like two cameras. Every single device has 2 cameras. Have you noticed? Every device now, okay, maybe I'm exaggerating, but if you have an iPhone 13 and above, it has at least 2 cameras. You never see anything yet. You never see anything yet. We're moving into an era that we do not understand. Okay, but the principles are the same. Okay, the principles are the same. You need to have foresight. You need to be able to think beyond just what your emotions are telling you. When you say don't be sentimental and emotional, if you're the one that beat everybody to it, there's a good chance you're the one that's sentimental and emotional. There's a good chance the other person can see what you can't see. Okay, why do I say like that? Because they might even not know that they are seeing it, but they feel something. They know something is missing, right? But they are telling you, but you can't see because you need a bottle to look like a bottle before you realize that there's a chance that there may be a bottle behind the scenes, behind your blind spots. You're waiting for evidence. If the whole world just works like that, everybody just have evidence before life happens to people, life will be perfect. The reality is that people don't get in trouble until they realize there was something in their blind spot, and then they are in trouble, and then it's too late. Because if they saw it, they wouldn't get in trouble. Think about that. So you're posting stuff on the internet the whole 15 years ahead of time, and then it comes back and bites you in the butt. Millions of dollars down the drain. They will chop him up. All the board members, they will eat him up like this. Have you seen the story of what happened between Otedola and Olumelu? Go and find out the story. Just Google it. What happened between Otedola and Olumelu? Just go to ChatGPT and check it out. Something that happened between them with regards to board and buying some stocks and somebody backbiting something. This is the real world. There's a lot of money involved. Sharks, they will eat you up. You sit down there, be sentimental and calling other people sentimental. Anyway, back to what I was saying. I digress. Although Obey, we were talking about Max Obey, the young lady, the polycule lady. She did not initially name Olubi, Ezra Olubi. Observers quickly connected the dots to Paystack CTO, prompting them to dig up past posts that many have described as shocking. Olubi has since deactivated his X account, but screenshots of the post continue to circulate. I've already reviewed that earlier on. Some of the resurfaced posts, including disturbing comments about sexual activity involving animals, children, and co-workers. Olubi's case adds to a growing pattern of controversy surrounding Nigeria's tech ecosystem. I was asking Abby earlier, what is going on in the tech system in Nigeria? And then answered to me, let me see if I can remember now. Something about, they said very talented people are something like that they're weirdos. So I'm paraphrasing that, what did you say, Abby? Remind me. Something about when people are super talented, they also tend to be weird, but I think there's some truth to that anyway. Olubi has since deactivated. Okay, all right. So Olubi's case adds to a growing. Okay, one prominent example was Patricia, the crypto startup that in 2023 blamed a hack for freezing customer withdrawals. A TechPoint Africa investigation later revealed that the crisis may have stemmed more from mismanagement than a cyber attack, with claims of misappropriated funds and weak internal financial controls. In January of 2025, TechPoint Africa also reported that the Lagos State Revenue Service was investigating claims that Bento submitted fake receipts to conceal the missing remittances. Around the same time, the company faced similar issues in Ghana, where businesses accused Bento of failing to remit taxes and pension payments, a situation linked to poor documentation and high staff turnovers. These incidents have revived long-standing conversations about accountability, workplace culture, and corporate governance across Africa's tech sector. This guy was actually honored with, I think they call it OON, something order of Nigeria, Federal Republic of Nigeria, that the president's accord people, I think was Buhari, that actually gave him this honorary title. Obviously, because they started Paystack, they got a lot of money from that. So startup is a big thing in the tech community in Nigeria. And I'll be feeling a lot of these young kids, they don't know what to do with themselves with this level of exposure to money and fame overnight and power, people working for them, people bound to their knees, the talents, the talent that they have that they've actually executed to build companies. I have a feeling that many of these kids are going to get in more trouble. We're going to probably see more and more of this. And it's just the way it works, I know. So the only thing they can do with this information I just said is to, be guided, because, with that kind of power comes a lot of tests, However, the controversy surrounding Paystack is especially significant given the company's status of one of Africa's most important technology startups, particularly after its high-profile acquisition by Stripe. All right, that out of the way. The other post I was reading earlier on says, independence, however, does not override investor protections. They're talking about if they're going to get rid of him completely or this is just a suspension, right? They're probably going to get rid of him completely because they can't afford for their brand name to be attached to such behavior. I don't care if the behavior was 60 years ago. What do you think happened to Bill Cosby? Bill Cosby in the 60s was committing certain atrocities that came back and hunt him down in the 2010s, all the way from 50 years ago. Something that ordinarily people might say statute of limitation has gone. Same thing with PDD. All these court cases that he was just lucky that caught up with him. A lot of them already exceeded the statute of limitation. The point where a lot of people will say, yes, the law says they can't do anything. Like, says who? Oyiboto ko she pencil she razor. Do I have to go to law school? You have to go to law school to know that the Oyibo that did the pencil did the eraser. They can erase it. We just finish reading books and then we lose our skinny. Oh my God. Let me Thank you, Jare. This is what Abi was trying to say. Anyway, he's a genius. He will come up with another platform when this dies down. So hopefully, he can fund it, as funding may be tough to get with this trail. That's the thing, Abi. Do you know how many kids are just as talented as he is, and he's blowing it now? Yeah, he can create. Maybe he can cover his face and use somebody else. Yeah, Yeah. Let me see here. What time is it? Oh, okay. Just looking at the time. So somebody said, I'm certain, even without seeing the sale documents, that his agreement contains one. They call it the morality clause. Somebody said, there's no morality in law. Says who? There's literally something called morality clause. You can create agreement for anything, literally for anything, unless, of course, there are seniority legalities that will override and nullify your agreement. But you can create agreement, NDAs, all kind of craziness. For this guy, one of the things I saw is that he had been writing up NDAs for people. Anyway, allegedly. So let me go back to some of the posts. So let's see here. So the original post that I saw is this one. Okay, so this is the backstory here. Okay. The quote says, I brought a monster into my marriage. Media personality Max Obey accuses Paystack. So she's a media personality. In a deeply emotional, it was on it was an audio that was floating around, and it was recorded from X Spaces. So in a deeply emotional and lengthy public disclosure, Max Obey, former partner of Paystack co-founder, when I say partner, romantic partner, Ezra, let me show this to you. Ezra Olubi has come forward with explosive allegations detailing manipulation, abusive behavior, and disturbing misconduct during and before their relationship. Speaking in a live audio recording, Obey said she felt compelled to speak out after realizing the depth of the depravity surrounding Olubi, stressing that she does not consider herself a victim, but believes the public needs to hear the truth. According to her, she first approached Olubi in September 2023 with the intention of forming a polyamorous relationship involving herself and her wife. And at that point, Nigerian people say, Amen. No, I'm just kidding. Not amen. Wala. Let's see here. Okay. So, according to her, she first approached here. So, she admitted that at the time her interest was driven partly by financial motivation, as she hoped to leave corporate America. Obey said the relationship began remotely and only became physical when she visited in December 2023. Dirty December. A lot of people are getting in trouble with Dirty December. You're going to hear more stories coming out of Dirty Decembers. Anyway, Lagos are starting to charge, I think they said $13 per head of anybody that enter Lagos for Dirty December. Anyway, they met in 2023 December when she went for Dirty December, which was also the first time she met a junior employee Olubi was allegedly sexually involved with. Okay. Although the subordinate told her the relationship was consensual, Obey now says she is ashamed she looked away, adding that she believes the situation was far more complicated and that more individuals may have been involved. Nigerian people on the internet will say, where's the crime? You have evidence? Where's the crime? And it will shock you. You never see anything yet. She also claims she later became concerned about Olubi's pattern of control, emotional detachment, and alleged mistreatment of domestic workers, prescribing his behavior as manipulative, demeaning, and psychotic. Somebody said, but Ola, it looks like you're believing some of these people that are just talking more, and you're not asking them for evidence. You're right, except you're wrong. I'm not believing them. I'm trying to warn you. You don't want to be dragged in this mud before we find out that you have been innocent. Are you not paying attention? Okay. I have to spell everything out for you. The kílẹ̀ tó pòṣìkà, Yorùbá sọ pé kílẹ̀ tó pòṣìkà. How do you finish it? Something like that. Why do you want to wait until your life is destroyed and then they will now find out that you were innocent? And then why do you want to wait until that before you gather wisdom? I don't understand. Ugao. May God help all of us. So let me see. I'm about to rush this up a little bit. Okay, here we go. All right. So she also claims she later became concerned about Olubi's pattern of control, emotional detachment. So let's say you say she lied. Okay, but now his reputation is in the poto. What are you going to do about it? Oh, you think the government is going to start filing criminal charges against everybody that spread this on the internet? Masio. Obey revealed that she and Olubi eventually ended their relationship in June 2024 after months of conflict. However, she said what ultimately compelled her to speak publicly were revelations, including her sister's marriage, breaking down at several points. Obey said she now feels she brought a monster into her marriage, insisting that the behavior she witnessed was alarming and harmful not only to her, but to others in Olubi's orbit. I'll tell you what. There's a lot of craziness and trial, polycule, all this stuff going on. We're just in that era. People are exiting what used to be, what we used to know, and they're trying things out, particularly freedom. Okay? I just want you to know that freedom is not exactly freedom. Freedom is not exactly freedom. Freedom comes with responsibilities. Well, adulting comes with responsibilities. And if you were trying to avoid adulting by avoiding the conventional way of doing things, right? Let me talk about sex for a second. Sex is a very, very deep thing, right? And if it's not contained, it will destroy you potentially, okay? And when you start bringing all kind of wayward, extracurricular, weirdo type of situations into your life, I mean, I hope you know what you're bargaining for, right? You're swimming against the trend. I hope you're prepared that you might get drowned by the trend of the ocean. So I hope you know what you're doing. That's all I can tell you. I can't shame you. I can't condemn you because I am not Jesus. I'm not God. But I can tell you for sure that there's a reason things have been the way they were. And I don't always advocate that things stay the same way. But if you're going to push against what you used to be, you better know what you're doing, because you might end up in the hands of a person like Ezra. All right. I hope you know what you're doing. Toby Tribe says the best thing he can do now is to invest the money he has saved. Good advice already. Invest the money he has saved all those years into small startup companies that have potential. His reputation might be over, but at least it won't go hungry. And he knows a lot about the industry. He can also be a quiet angel investor in that world. They might actually use him because he's still talented, but actually be able to use his talent behind the scenes to scout for newer opportunities. But yeah, good luck with that, because nobody wants to test somebody's questionable morals with their money. That's another thing too. Yeah. But good luck to him, Sha. I'm gonna leave it at that. If you have some more stuff later on, we'll cover it. But let me pay some bills. I'll be right back.
This is Ola, man of prestige, your favorite relationship and marriage coach. If you enjoyed this, smash that like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs it. Be a part of the Prestige family. My wife Lola and I have written 2 powerful books, Get My Marriage Back and Number 1 Red Flag. Yours free at manofprestige.com. For personal coaching, send me a WhatsApp request for consultation to +1 732 305 8577. Stay tuned for more. Your journey to love and prestige starts here.